let's give you guys like an outfit of the day kind of spin because my outfit is cute and I'm happy. So said dress is from Express. I think it's pretty cute. I'm wearing tights. Got some white socks on, and then I'm wearing boots because the wedding is outdoors and it's raining and muddy. So hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and guess what day it is? My birthday! Yeah. I'm actually not dressed this nice because it is my birthday. I am dressed this nice because I am about to go to a wedding, but I thought that because I was about to go to a wedding and I look nice, this would be a good day to film day 14 of youvember, aka my birthday. So today I thought I'd do something fun called 23 things I learned in 23 years. So I've seen a lot of people do the 23 things I've learned in 23 years or 22 years, 20, 19, however old you are, whatever. So I thought I'd try it out, but I'm actually going to put a twist on it. I know a lot of people do this with just 23 things they learned in 23 years. I actually tried to coordinate it with the ages I actually was when these numbers happened. Does that make sense? So like my first thing is around 1 year old. My second thing is around 2 years old. I know younger ages are harder, but like 15 is when I was around 15, 16 is when I was around 16. Does that make sense? So it's kind of year by year and not necessarily things that themed that entire year, but just things that I felt like I learned around that age. Got it? Cool. Okay, so for number one, I have, correlating with year one of my life, I have when you want something, put your mind to it and never give up. And the reason why I correlated this with age one is because of stories that my mom would tell me about when I was that age and when I was learning to walk. I was a determined little kiddo. I put my mind to things and literally did them. It's insane. Number two is curiosity is a powerful thing. So I'm gonna be honest with you, number two was kind of hard for me to figure out what I wanted to put as the theme for number two at age 2 in my life. And for me, I ended up going with curiosity is a powerful thing because curiosity, like some of the most brilliant minds in the entire world were curious people who never gave up. So in my head, I think curiosity is one of my favorite traits about me because I'm curious about everything. I think that's why I went into the science field, because I am super curious about just about everything. Number three, there will never be anyone who will love you like your family does. And I think this is a life lesson I've probably learned every single year of my life. I have the most amazing family. Literally, I'm so blessed. Like, my brothers are amazing, my parents are amazing, my grandparents are amazing, aunts, uncles, cousins, great-grandparents. Like, I've been so blessed in my life to have an amazing family. And honestly, through all the weird phases of my life, like my sassy phases, my really dark eyeliner phases, like there have been a lot of phases, my dude, and no one will ever love you unconditionally like your family will. Number four is a funny one. It's never carry anything heavy in your mouth. When I was 4 years old, I decided to, when I was walking into daycare, I decided that I was going to carry a pillowcase in my mouth. Don't ask me why. It had a bunch of stuff in it. It had a couple of books in it, I'm pretty sure. And I was like carrying it around my mouth, having fun. And then all of a sudden, my teeth ripped out. And they were not ready to rip out at all. It was probably painful. I barely remember it. All I really remember is blood spurting everywhere, blood all over the snow because it was winter time. But lesson learned, don't carry heavy things in your mouth. For real, just don't do it. And number 5, naps are a blessing. And for real, I think I learned this more when I got older, but like I didn't appreciate them as much as I should have during kindergarten when we had rest time. Man, naps are truly a blessing, y'all. Like, naps. But here's to naps. We are blessed. The age of 6 was probably when I was around kindergarten, first grade age. And this is when I learned a lot about kindness, especially in first grade. Kindness was really the basis of what we were taught by my teacher, who I love, by the way. My teacher, one of my all-time favorite teachers. What I'm gonna say about this thing that I learned is that kindness is something that is truly a blessing. You should be kind to all people. You should be kind to people, especially when you don't know everything. You don't know their situation. Or even when you do know their situation. Just being kind is a good thing. And I think this was such a valuable lesson for me to learn when I was 6 years old, because there were students in our class who I made friends with because kindness was something that was really prevalent in my life at that point. I mean, I just think that kindness is something that you should learn when you're that young, because it really carries you through your life, and it kind of just brings you back to your core, which is hopefully you should be kind to everyone. Age 7, so this is first, second grade, around that age. When I was 7, I remember learning a lot about the planet. I remember learning a lot about nature and outdoors, plants, earth. So what I would say about number 7 is that the earth is precious and so is everything on it. We need to treat it with respect. We need to really make sure that we love our earth because we only have one of them. And this is something that is really like compounded as I got older, but I remember having such an appreciation for nature as a young kid and just loving everything in nature, be it animals, be it plants. I loved nature at that age. For number 8, just because you feel lonely doesn't mean that you're alone. Oh man, the age of 8. 8/9 we'll go with. Around that age was around 3rd grade, which is for my school district, a transition to a new school. And when I transitioned to this new school, I was one of the only people from my 2nd grade class to be put into my particular classroom, which meant I felt really separated from my classmates that I had had. I felt like I didn't have a lot of friends. And I ended up pushing away a lot of my friends because I felt like they didn't want to be friends with me anymore. And that was not true at the time, but looking back on it, I know that it's not true, I guess. I was lonely, and at that point in my life, I thought because I was lonely, I was alone. If you want help, people like to help. And if you, even if you haven't talked to a friend in a while, all it takes is a call, all it takes is a text, a Snapchat, whatever, and you're not alone. Like, you know, you can be friends with anybody. You just have to reach out, you know? Number 9, this is the age where I really found my love of books. And anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge bookworm. I literally have a pile of like 20 books right now to read. So for number 9, I'm gonna say books are the best way to not only escape your reality, but like live other lives than your own. Is that a weird thing to say? I don't know. But books are an escape. Books are the best thing ever. I don't know. When I was 9, I used to be caught reading in class and yelled at because that's the person that I was. I was that girl. But for real, I will always have a huge appreciation for books from this like young age of 9 years old to when I'm 99. I will love books always. And that's just part of who I am, and it's part of what I've learned in my life is that books are one of the best things ever. Alright, number 10, another hard year for me socially. But number 10, I actually lost one of my best friends. She moved away and I was very, very sad. So number 10 is life is like a bus. Some people get on and some people get off, but it's all about enjoying the ride. Classic. Not a quote. I actually heard this from somebody. So, and I just thought it was so true. Life is like a bus and people get on, people get off. And it's about enjoying the ride while people are in your life and appreciating when they leave that they were ever on your bus, I guess. And yeah, I mean, not much more to say on that one. Number 11, it's okay to forgive people, but never forget. When someone has wronged me, I feel like I never ever let it leave my mind. But something that was really hard for me as a child is that I had a really hard time forgiving people, and it's still something that I struggle with, honestly, because I'm not perfect. But forgiving people has always been something that I'm really bad at, because when somebody wrongs me, I'm a Scorpio. I'm like,
okay, bye. I don't need you. I never want to talk to you again.
And when I was a kid, I would follow through. I literally started a fight with somebody and didn't talk to them for like 3 or 4 years, and they were my best friend. That's a long time not to talk to somebody. I'm just saying, like, that's a grudge if I ever heard one. But something that I've really learned throughout my life is that just because you don't want to forgive someone doesn't mean that it's not worth it to forgive them, but just don't forget what they did to you. If somebody does something bad to you, you don't want to be that person that gets hurt twice, you know? And maybe that's even a bad look on life. And maybe in the next 10 years or whatever, if I ever do this again, maybe I'll look back and be like, girl, you can forget. Like, it's okay, just forget about it. But for now, I think my life motto really is forgive, don't forget, because you don't want to get hurt twice. Number 12, it does not pay not to work hard. Maybe I worded this weirdly, but let me explain. So when I was around 12 years old, I tried out for a basketball team. And when I tried out, there's 2 teams. There's the A team and the B team. And I was so positive I was gonna make the A team because I knew I had already done a lot of the work. I was a good basketball player. So I decided not to work very hard. I would watch the coaches, and if they looked away, I wouldn't do my push-ups. I just did not work hard because I was so confident in myself. Then came the verdict. I was on the B team, and all of a sudden it was like this revelation in my mind that if you don't work hard, that nothing's gonna work for you, basically. And if you don't work hard, it does not pay not to work hard. Like, it pays to work hard. After that, I wouldn't say I'm one of the hardest workers, but I think I stopped slacking, if that makes sense. If somebody said, give me 10 push-ups, I was doing all 10. I wasn't doing 7, I was doing all 10. And I wasn't always the most outgoing, most hardworking person, but like that was a big monumental moment in my life where I realized that, yeah, I did need to start working harder if I wanted to achieve my goals. And I think that applies in like your actual work life as well, in your social life. If you don't work hard, you're not gonna get anything. So what's the point of not working hard? Number 13, I'm gonna kind of quote Billie Eilish because she's Billie Eilish. But she said, there's a quote out there, it's floating around somewhere, and it's like, there were so many times in my life where I ruined something just because I was sad, and that's just not okay. And I think at age 13, I'm just like, I let so many things get ruined because I was sad, and that's just like, that's sad. So number 13 is don't let sadness ruin anything in your life. And that's something that's really hard to do, honestly, but I'm just gonna say it. Don't let sadness ruin anything for you. Number 14, learning and being able to learn in general is such a blessing, so don't take it for granted. I think I'm somebody who will always want to be learning something, and I think that's part of the reason why I love my books so much. Learning is truly a blessing. There are so many people out there that can't do that, and we are so blessed. Like, in any country that allows, like, that people can afford to go to school and all that stuff, like, we are, like, learning is a blessing. Like, I keep saying blessing this one, but like, whatever. Number 15, my freshman year of high school. Don't take your personal problems out on other people. I had a really bad habit of doing this. Not that I still don't do it. I think I've gotten a lot better though. I used to, when I had personal issues in my life, I would literally like attack other people because I was angry at not even them. And this caused me to lose friendships. This caused me to just really isolate myself. Now looking back on it, I can see that I let my personal issues really take hold of my life and ruin a lot of things for me. So looking back, yeah, just don't take your personal issues out on other people. Number 16, listen to your gut. Your heart might say something, your mind might say something, but your gut is the only one that is always right. If you have a feeling that something is not okay, then don't do it. And Lord knows I should have known this advice way before, but I'm stupid. Number 17, age 17 is when I got my college volleyball scholarship offer. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it right here, but that year was a big year for me, and what I've learned by that year of my life was if you believe in something long enough, hard enough, and you really put in the work, it'll come true. And I think one of the biggest thing for me was that I didn't believe in myself for a lot of things, but for volleyball, I always did. I always knew in my soul that I would play college volleyball. It didn't matter where, it didn't matter how, but I knew. And because I believe so hard, I believe that's why I got my scholarship, and that's why I was able to play. You know, kind of like a manifestation rule? I don't know. Number 18, living a life without goals is not a life worth living. And that is so true. For so much of my life, one of my big life goals was to play college volleyball, and once I reached it, I found myself kind of goalless, and that really created bad issues in my life. And by age 18, I could kind of see that, but I didn't know why. And it took until probably this past year that I actually really learned, like, oh, I was living a life with no purpose, which is probably why I felt so lost after I graduated high school. So if you don't have goals, what are you doing? Because you need to make some, because seriously, life-changing. Number 19, we're going relationship-wise, y'all. Guys are not worth losing friendships. Be it like me in a relationship losing friends, or my friends in a relationship losing me. It's just not worth it. It's so stupid. Number 20, we're getting up there. Number 20, if you feel deep in your soul that you're meant to do something, then do it. And don't look back, you know? Because this is more me talking about this YouTube channel that I have going. It took me so long to man up and finally do it. Literally years and years and years. I had a video on my channel called Why I Started My YouTube Channel, and in it I showed some clips of when I got my first camera. I would like vlog before vlogging was a thing, and I would imagine this magical world where I would post on YouTube. And for years and years, and then I pushed it back to the back of my mind. And I was like, that's too weird, that's lame, whatever. And around age 20 to 21, I considered it again. It really felt like this was something I wanted to do. I've always loved making videos. I wanted to do it, I don't know. Then I pushed it to the back of my mind again until age 22, and I finally manned up and did the dang thing. And I'm so grateful for it because it really makes me happy. And if there's something that calls you, do it. If you are at a job you hate and you're like, man, I would just love to be a nurse and help people, go get your nursing degree, dude. Like, do it. If you feel like you're meant to help people in Africa, go to Africa. If you're like, if anything calls to you, do it. Honestly, you will not regret it ever. Number 21, this is a fun one. It's not that fun. Number 21 is sadness does not last forever, and the best way to beat sadness is through gratitude and self-love. Not to get all mushy on you, but it wasn't until literally recently that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start writing down things I'm grateful for. And when I did that, like, literally life-changing. Second of all, the second part of this is self-love and loving yourself. I think for many years I really hated myself. It wasn't until somewhere in the end of the college era that I was like, you know what, I'm okay. I think I'm okay with myself. Number 22, forget about other people's opinions because they are none of your business. Okay? For real, like, why do we care so much about what other people think? It was this year, literally this past year, that I really stopped caring about what people think, and it has been the best decision of my entire life. The idea that other people's opinions stop you from doing things that you love to do is like one of the worst things I could possibly think of. Alright, we've reached the last one, which is 23. The year that I currently am. Find a higher power. I promise you, it's worth it. I feel like if I had a mic, I would drop it. But for real, it doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It doesn't have to be like Allah or whoever worships, you know? But finding just a higher power in general gives your life purpose. And for me, that was finding religion and reading the Bible and going to church, and that is something I've never done in my whole life. But yeah, I think finding something that gives you purpose in your life is so worth it. Be that just that you believe in the universe, or Buddhism or Hinduism, or just believing in karma or believing in energies. Some people really believe that, like, I don't know how to explain this well, but believing in something bigger than yourself is something that you will never regret, and I promise you that. So if you don't believe in anything right now, that's perfectly okay, but I highly recommend believing in something, you know? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it was kind of random and all over the place, but don't you worry, because in a couple of days you're going to get my actual birthday vlog from the day of my birthday. And maybe a little bit more like the days surrounding it, who knows. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!